Hi, it's Teresa from Conscious Crypto Traders. I am here this morning with Ben, who's a fellow trader and part of our Conscious Crypto Traders Mastermind group that looks at different scenarios and different indicators in the price action. We meet twice a month based on whoever's available, and we all take turns researching different types of indicators, different types of scenarios in the price action. And Ben recently found a really interesting way to look at volume differently that I thought we would share with you. So if you think that sounds interesting, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and select all. So Ben, I found this really fascinating when you first brought this to me. Just found it really neat how you were using this aggregating site as a different way to look at volume. What first
Yeah.
got you twigged to this site?
Well, I was in a Discord group and one of the guys brought it up. We were looking for a bottom and one of the guys in the chat was saying that there's a lot of like millions and millions of dollars going in right now. And we immediately saw the price spike up and that actually was the bottom. And then he shared the website with everyone and I've just been watching it ever since. It's one of those things that I'll always have up when I'm looking for a good entry.
Beautiful. Do you want to
Um,
show us the site really quick?
Yes. Yeah, this is it. It will just show you all the significant trades that are going on in the market right now. Um,
Yeah, and the
Usually I'll wait for,
thing I was fascinated about this site, you were telling me you can actually set minimum levels so you only see trades of a certain size, right?
I think so.
Mhm.
I'm not actually entirely sure about that. I was hoping I could figure that out, but I didn't.
Yeah, I think it's
Uh,
in the settings button. Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, if you could
Yeah.
do that and then only set it to like maybe 10 million plus and then just wait for those, like, or maybe even 20 million plus, because sometimes the 10 million and $20 million trades are wrong, which that'll be unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But um, yeah, when we were in all-time highs, excuse all my craziness going on here.
Yeah. Your charts look a lot like mine.
Yeah. Um, yeah, when we were up, it was, I remember it was like, it was like right here. We were up at above 64,000. I was watching this website and we kept climbing. I was in a long, um, trading the all-time high and saw like a $10 million short going. So I took some profits and we came down and then we went up and I saw that that short was actually in the red. So I kind of thought it was wrong. And then we actually ended up coming down. And it was like, wow, like okay, I should have taken that short. And I ended up taking more profits. And then around here there was like a $20 million short. I think it was in the 63,000s. It was a $20 million short, and at that point I took a short. Um, and then I ended up seeing something that made me think that it was going back up, so I ended up getting out. But by the time we came down, I think it was here. Yeah, it was. Oh no, it was actually this wick. It was this wick. There was a $50 million short at this wick. So immediately, someone huge opened a short, and they were underwater for like half a day. Um, and I ended up getting in a short, a couple $100 above it, and then I was underwater, and I kind of just trusted it because, like, I think it's very unlikely that a $50 million short's going to be wrong. Like if somebody has that much buying power, it's probably an institution, and they probably know what they're doing. So I ended up holding it, holding it, holding it, and then I ended up going to sleep, and I woke up, and I was like 150% in profit. It
Wow.
came all the way down here. Um, and the other thing is we broke this huge line of resistance, right? So when you can find like more than one thing, well, when you can find several things that are saying the same thing, you can be pretty confident this is going to happen, right? And I think that's a pretty basic idea in trading. Like you want to find as many things as you can that are pointing to the same direction.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's interesting. I found it interesting watching the site since you showed it to me because $1 million trades, 10 or 15 of them going in at once, barely move the market. But when you start seeing $20 million, $30 million, $50 million trades go into the mix, then that trade itself starts to move the market, which is kind of interesting. The other thing I've been find fascinating, Ben, since you first showed me these aggregate sites is, you can put in any trading pair. Like, so you can pull up an aggregate site for Ethereum, you can pull up an aggregate site for XRP. Yeah. And it's been kind of fascinating watching that what's a big trade on Bitcoin is not like, doesn't exist on the XRP charts. Like, the bigger trades on XRP is more like 500,000, whereas Bitcoin, $1 million's nothing. So it's just kind of fascinating to see, where the big money's trading versus, smaller volumes in terms of the big traders going in on some of the altcoins. So it's actually been just kind of fascinating watching them. We all love our VPVR indicators and different volume indicators. It's just a different way to view volume. What are the big traders, the experienced traders, the institutional traders doing when you watch these websites, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely want to do what the smart money's doing.
Yeah. So again, I don't think either of us is saying don't use this site to place trades. Ben's not saying that. I'm not saying that.
No.
You still want to trade the pattern. You still want to do your technical analysis. But this is actually an interesting little additional indicator you can be watching, especially in those moments of market uncertainty. I think at the top of that huge rising wedge, the whole market was poised, waiting. Are we going back up to new all-time highs? Are we breaking down out of what was a 24-week-long pattern at that point, like a support line that had held for 24 weeks? I was a little bit jealous knowing that you had seen this, what was it, $50 million trade go in at that point. For me, that would have given me the confidence to take the short. Because I remember sitting there looking at all the indicators, and all the indicators were looking pretty good to short at that point, and I was nervous about it. So I just decided, there's always another bus. Let me take another bus. I was doing the caution is the better part of valor. So that was actually pretty cool that you saw that.
Well, we are in a bull market, so shorting is kind of riskier. But I mean, recently we have just been going sideways, so it's not super dominant right now. But no, there was the other thing is this website can definitely be wrong. Like, I've seen $20 million shorts, or I saw a $20 million long recently. And that was when we had the initial drop before getting the second drop. So that would have got stopped out unless it was like a 1 or 2x, right? Like, or super low leverage. So you can't always just trust it, right? It has to be, it has to line up with your indicators and your patterns and the news. Right?
Yeah, it's fascinating sitting and watching and seeing $1 million and $2 million trades get liquidated. So it's like, okay, somebody's got money if they're placing trades that big and not putting in a stop loss. Holy cow. But I've seen a few of those. So yeah, fascinating. So thanks so much for sharing this indicator with us, Ben. Like, not truly an indicator, but it's certainly an additional way to create confirmation when you're in those moments of indecision and you're wondering what the big money's doing. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. For those of you who are interested in joining our scenarios mastermind, where we divvy up different inquiries we want to dive into, sometimes creating small teams to go and research different elements. We meet twice a month. If you're interested in joining that, please reach out, because based on who's available, we have a lot of fun on those calls and are actually learning some really cool things, sharing information together and diving into different scenarios. We will be hosting various videos on this channel from what we discover in that mastermind. So you'll eventually be meeting a number of the participants in that mastermind. Until then, trade consciously.